you. So before we get started, I just want to share with you the most important thing that you need to know before getting into web design, before building your website. And very quickly, let's push into it. This is called the holy grail of web design. For every web design or for every website that you host, you need to have these three things. And these three things are the things that I'm going to share with you. If you have these three things, it determines the extent to which you achieve success in your web design or for your website. So a lot of people ask me questions and say, my website is not converting. Now, if you have these three things, you could go back inside and audit your website. And for those of you that want to design something new and it's very compelling to get you the results that you're looking for, these are the things you need to know. So the first rule of thumb is you need to be able to let your customers see. What do they see? The products, the services, the value, and the solution you offer. Number one, that there are some people that you have a very beautiful site, but they are not really seeing it as a product. They're not really seeing it as a service. You're just hiding. You don't need to hide it. You need to put it out there. They need to see. They need to understand, okay, this is a product and the service that you offer. You make it bold. You don't just make it something that is wordy or texty, but you enable them to see that very clearly, this is one product that you offer, these are two products, or these are three products that you offer, these are the services that you offer, these are the values and the solution that you're offering to them, so they understand and they identify with you. And at the C level, you don't have to talk about yourself. At any time, you talk about the problems that your customers care about, not about yourself. Don't go and stay there and begin to talk a lot of stories. Just move straight to the point and deliver. These are the products I'm offering, these are the services I'm offering, and this is the value I'm giving. Straight to the point. They need to be able to see that and see that clearly. So don't confuse them with your jargons or your text or your messaging. Just make sure that everything is pretty direct and straight to the point. Now, number two is validation. Now, what makes people to act and very move closer to taking action is that they need to be able to validate. Validate in what aspect? Validate in regards to your expertise. Validate that you're going to guarantee them results. So you can either show them your before and after series. You can actually tell them, okay, this is a timeline to which you achieve this. So you need to be pretty direct. So people want to say, okay, you want to say, okay, you're going to make me a millionaire. When? How are you going to do that? Okay, the next thing that you show us to be able to validate on that is you introduce what we call testimonials. Oh, these are the people that have used my products, and these are the things that they are saying, these are the results that they are experiencing, and these are testimonials I'm showing you. So with regards to that, your expertise, you can also put in some of your certifications and why they should listen to you or why they should buy with you. Is it guaranteed results? Is it maybe if you're having an e-commerce site, you say, okay, that you are 100% response rate or 90-something% response rate. You now talk about your shipment, and you now say, okay, you talk about even your refund policies, and people see that when it has to do with you, they really don't have issues, and you put a lot of testimonials and you put some of the questions that they may be asking, and you try to reply it in some of those frequently asked questions. So all those kind of things, you validated the fact that you can actually deliver a product or a service. And this most important part of validation is where you now put out your blogs. Now, this is the most important aspect. So many people don't know it. But if you can't write blogs, you write reviews and things like that that relates to giving your customers information, valid information that will enable them make informed decisions. I'm telling you that you'll be a step ahead in terms of validation. So you give them reviews, you give them some of the research you've been doing in the industry as it relates to them, because right now you've been able to save them time, you've been able to save them money, you've been able to save them a whole lot of trial and error. So they get to know that this is what works and you get to put it. So even if you cannot create content from scratch, you can actually make reviews, you can actually make recommendations, and they will be very, very interested to listen to you. I remember when I was watching Seth Godin's podcast, and he said something. He said he was talking about Airbnb, and he said that if you can just tell people about the value okay, and you tell them top 10 A and B places that are the best places that you can stay when you come to Paris. That is possible for you now become the middleman, and then because you are always in the game of trust, people now start to believe you, and before you know it, give it 5 months, give it 6 months, you will make times 2 or times 10 of whatever you invested in, because then the owner of these places will be looking forward for you to now give them reviews and all those kind of things. So we are you're in the business of actually satisfying your customers, but in order to satisfy your customers, you need to show them the fact that you can actually deliver on these things. So these are the 3 things that will really guide you, that will really enable you produce the kind of results that you're looking for. So the next thing is you want them to take action. And in taking action, you want them to buy a product or a service, you want them to sign up or register, you want them to get in touch. Now I'm going to elaborate on that very soon. Now on the other side, you also want them, if you have a YouTube video and maybe you're using your YouTube for now and you're putting out this like a bonus tip, you want them to be able to watch your video, you want them to be able to subscribe, and you want them to get in touch or visit your site. But let's look back at these 3 things. Now, this is the holy grail of web design, a website that gives you conversion, because we're talking about how to design a website that actually gets you conversion. So the first thing is there are 3 things, these core 3 things. They need to be able to see very clearly your products and services, and you move straight to the point. Don't talk about yourself too much, talk about the value and the solution you offer. They need to be able to validate the fact that you can actually guarantee the results, you can actually deliver on what you are actually saying, you can actually deliver on your promise. They don't really have time a lot, because sometimes the client or your customers, they always like to do comparisons, and they try to check, okay, they do market research, and they are actually, when they see your product, or by the time they see your product, the next thing they want to see if they can find something better. You don't want them to be able to ask that question and actually find answers for themselves. You want them to find that answer on your site, and then they take actions. Are you getting me? So it's not something that you now say, okay, later on they will go and compare. You might lose them. So they need to be able to see that you're actually offering this value, you're actually offering this solution they care about, and this is why they need to buy from you, because you have 10 years experience, you have 20 years experience, you have so and so certification, you have certain testimonials, you have this guaranteed result, you have this response rate, and all these kind of things, and they can check out your reviews and know that you've been in this game for a long time, even if you are just there for 5 weeks. So the next thing that you want to look at is how to make them to take action, and you have to be very clear with the action you want them to take. For me, I like to put out only one action, but most importantly, because if you have so many actions that you want them to take, they might end up taking the wrong one. So you want them to either buy, either sign up, either register, or either get in touch. And for maybe those of you that started leveraging on YouTube, it's either you want them to watch your video effectively and maybe to the end, you want them to at the end of it subscribe, and you tell them to do it, and you want them to get in touch and visit your site. So the next thing that you do is you put all this call to action in there, so that you can actually guarantee that these people actually did what you're looking for. This action that you take is how you measure your success, or how you measure conversion. You don't want someone to come and say, your site is beautiful, this, and the person can't even find where to click a button that makes them to take action. So it's not about beauty, it's not about fine, it's about results. And this is the holy grail of the website that actually gets you the conversion that you're looking for. The next thing I want to talk about is actually this thing that I want to share with you, that speed equals success. That means the speed at which they do those 3 things: they see, they validate, and they take action, determines your level of success. Okay? So the first thing that you want them to do is you want them to see, and you want them to validate, and you want them to take action. And I'll always say that you have 3 seconds. At most, you have 8 seconds to do that. So you don't have a lot of time to, turn around, play around everything. The simplest way I do my stuff is to have one goal. I will show you some of my sites in a few minutes, and you see that I have only one goal, one objective, which is get in touch. I want them to get in touch. Now, some people, having 8 seconds, some people might want to leverage on email marketing and say, okay, If I'm not going to get you after 8 seconds, at least try as much as possible, drop email. But I don't do that. And I'll tell you why I don't do that. I want them to have an experience. The pop-up email is just something that gets to distract. What I do is I put analytics on my site. When I put analytics, I'm able to track them, I'm able to retarget to them, and then I'm now able to actually get emails of people that are very, very relevant to me, not just email of anybody. Okay, so these are the other tips I want to give you. Number one, it's not just about the design. So get a good copywriting. Balance it. 50% design, 50% a very good copy. You need to be able to use those languages that actually compel them to take action. The next one is get straight to the point. Eliminate things that are not relevant or to throw your customers off. Don't be put things in very, very concise order. This is the first thing they do. They see, they validate that I'm good to go. I meet the required objectives. I meet some of the things they're looking for. And the next thing is that they take action. That's it. I don't want to waste too much time. So make it simple. Use one color theme for your site. At most 2. Choose colors that resonate with your brand. And these are the things that I do that helps me get the success that I'm looking for. So very quickly, if this was helpful, just follow through to the next video and you'll be able to see how I get to do these things in practical steps. So we're getting into practical now, and let's get pushing.